This video I'm going to show you how variables in a Power BI report interact with each other. So this interaction can help you focus on specific data points in your report. So let's take a look here at the population CO2 GDP overview report. And here we have three variables. Okay, if somehow you are focusing on GDP by year, this variable, and you try to take a look at year 2010. Okay, so you can move your mouse over this bar and just click on it. Now the other bars will be dimmed and this bar becomes highlighted. Okay, you may also notice that on the other graph, this pie chart, CO2 emission pie chart, we also has a highlighted part and the dimmed part. The highlighted part basically corresponds to year 2010. The dimmed part corresponds to the other years in the sample period. And if you hover your mouse here on Asia, okay, you can see this tooltip also show you information on the highlighted year 2010 as well. Okay, so Asia's total CO2 emission level is 68 million something. Okay, the highlighted part, which is year 2010's emission from Asia, is 16 million something, which is reported by the tooltip. So let's move on. Okay, let's click 2010 again, and everything was back to normal. How about we focus on Asia on this pie chart? So if I click on Asia, now Asia is highlighted. The rest of the continents are dimmed. And this focus on Asia also affects this graph, GDP by year graph. You can see for each year, there's a highlighted part and there's a dimmed part. The highlighted part basically corresponds to Asia, and the dimmed part corresponds to other continents. So for example, for year 2005, this highlighted part is the GDP of Asia, and the dimmed parts are the GDP of the rest of the world. And you can also observe from the population by country, the bar charts here, because here we highlighted Asia. So here, countries in Asia are highlighted. Other countries that are not located in Asia are actually dimmed. So that's another interesting thing you can observe. Well, let's take a look at another way of highlighting. Let's again click on Asia and everything back to normal. Let's focus on China now. All right, let's look at the 2010 population by country chart, and we try to focus on China. So click on China. So now the other two graphs also affected by this highlighted behavior in this population variable. Okay, so now this highlight part under the CO2 emissions chart apparently corresponds to China's CO2 emission. Okay, you can move your mouse here, and the two tips will show the highlighted part is 8 million something, which is the China's emission, and also the percentage, which is China's emission as a percentage of the world emission. On this graph, GDP by year, under year 2010, you can see there's a highlighted part. Okay, this apparently corresponds to China's GDP. The dimmed part are other countries' GDP. So why the other years we don't see this distinction between highlight and dimmed part? That's because this population graph basically is based on data in 2010. So if I click on China here, I'm still focused on year 2010. So only year 2010 is gonna have this distinction showing, the difference between China in 2010 and the rest of the world in 2010. The other years, well, they're not part of this population graph, so they are not gonna be affected by this highlight. So how about we focus on not just China but also United States? So you can press on Control, and while you pressing Control, you can click on, say, United States. All right. So now both of China and United States are highlighted. And also here you can see under North America, there's a highlighted part which represents United States. Okay. And in the GDP by year bar chart, this highlighted bar apparently gets higher. Well, that's because that's a combination of both China and the US GDP. So this highlighted part is much larger. All right, so in terms of interaction, I want to show another report. So let's go to the world population map here. And here we have this population map in 2010. So the different color here basically shows if the color is darker, it's going to be more population. All right, so apparently you can see China and India has the darkest green color. That means their population is the largest. So now if I click on China, again, this serves as a highlight, and it's gonna have an interaction with other views on this report. So you can see on this table, country data for 2010, we only see China appearing here. Okay, previously, okay, let me click China again, then that's gonna go back to the original. So you see, previously we have all the countries listed here, but if you just click on China in this map, then only China is going to be shown in the other table here. Okay. Also for this population trend, you can see only 2010's data was shown. That's because in this map we are showing only 2010's population data. So if we're highlighting one of the countries in this map, only 2010 data will be shown on this population trend as well. Okay. Again, let's go back by clicking on China again. Now because nothing is selected, okay, no particular focus here, the population trend will be over many years. Also, all the countries will be shown in this table. Okay. Now we can go to this view, okay, country data for 2010 here. Let's click, say, Indonesia. Okay, Indonesia is clicked here. Now you can see the map now focus on Indonesia. All right, it's going to be highlighted in the map, and it's going to be zoomed in to show that country somewhere in the Pacific.